a beautiful design. The LG brand. Ultrawide monitor. A beast at productivity. 4K display. Is this the best monitor ever? So, that might have been a little dramatic, but you do get the point, right? Let's go ahead and take a look at the LG 4K ultrawide monitor and see if it actually lives up to the hype from the intro. So I've owned this monitor for just about 2 years now, and I bought it originally to complement my PC that I built. So this is my main monitor. I have a 2 monitor setup, my 34-inch and a 27-inch 1080p monitor. And I usually use the LG monitor for photo and video editing, mostly photography. I'm a freelance photographer. Now I do more as a hobby. I also do a little bit of video editing either for YouTube or just in general. I also use a lot of Excel, PowerPoint, and in a sense just multitasking. I also do use the monitor for videos and movies. And then lastly, the last thing on my list is for gaming. I do use the monitor from time to time to game on it. And since I use this monitor for all these different things, hopefully you'll know by the end of this video if this monitor is right for you. So let's cover some of the techie stuff before we get into how this monitor performs. Since this is a 34-inch ultra-wide monitor, it's going to be a lot wider than your normal monitors. So the aspect ratio is a little bit wider. The aspect ratio on this 34-inch is 21:9. Compared to your other normal monitors, which are usually 16:9. This is also 4K, so the resolution on this is 3440 by 1440. And then the most important thing to note about this monitor is that it is an IPS display. So when I say IPS, that stands for in-plane switching. Your IPS displays are going to be a lot more crisper and clear. The colors are going to pop a lot more. And you can view the monitor from different angles and it won't compromise on image quality at all. And due to the characteristics of an IPS display, this monitor becomes really attractive for image or graphic design work. So like I mentioned, my main purpose for this monitor is for photography use and editing photos, and let me tell you, it does not disappoint. So 34 inches and 4K make a perfect combination for editing photos. You can really dive deep into the photos, get zoomed in, look at every little detail in your photos. You can see the colors really pop, you can see the contrast, and the monitor also covers over 99% of the sRGB color model. sRGB stands for standard red, green, blue color model space, which basically is used in all of your websites, photography, and whatnot. And so that's a photographer's dream. And to be really honest, before I got this monitor, for about a year, I was just really distant from photography. I really wasn't enjoying it that much and whatnot. But then after getting this monitor and seeing the color quality that it produces, I got excited again to go out, take photos, and then bring them back. And just the whole experience of looking at your photos on this monitor, editing them, and really getting into details with your photos just make the experience so awesome. But maybe you might not be into photography and you might be wanting to get a 34-inch ultra-wide monitor for productivity or multitasking. And again, you won't be disappointed. The 34-inch real estate really makes for a lot of ability to multitask and have a lot of windows open, so you can really switch from window to window without having to actually minimize them or whatnot. I use a lot of Excel for my work, so being able to really get into the details of my Excel spreadsheets and having them open on a 34-inch screen really makes it a lot more easier to edit them and create charts and different pivot tables and analysis. And then sometimes if I need to look at my email while looking at Excel and whatnot, I can have all of those open in one screen rather than having a dual monitor setup or having one small 27-inch or 24-inch monitor. Or in other cases, if you just are into multimedia, you want to have YouTube, Facebook, and all the other social media apps and websites open, you can do all of that in this one space. Again, 34 inches is a lot of real estate, so you can really have a lot of windows open, really multitask and switch around without any issues. I also do use the monitor a lot for movies and videos, but that gets a little bit tricky. And when I say tricky, that's not necessarily a bad thing. So as I mentioned earlier in this video, this monitor has a 21:9 aspect ratio because it's a lot wider, whereas all your other normal monitors you might see, like your 24-inch or 27-inch monitors, all have a 16:9 aspect ratio. And so with most videos and movies, you will end up having a lot of those black bars on the side so that your video isn't cropped or zoomed in. So when it comes to watching movies and videos on this monitor, it definitely is an awesome experience as well. When you watch 4K content, again, As you would imagine, the 4K content looks amazing on the monitor, and even when you watch 1080p content on this 4K monitor, you can definitely tell a slight difference in the quality when you compare it to a 1080p HD monitor. Now, talking about gaming, again, if your sole purpose is to game on this monitor, I don't think it's the right one for you. And I say that because, again, this doesn't have your high refresh rates and all the other good stuff that you would want as a gamer. But with that being said, if this monitor's sole purpose isn't for gaming, and if gaming is more on the later part of your prioritization list, then this is still a great monitor. And I say this because I do enjoy playing video games from time to time, but I'm not competitive or anything crazy. I like to play to have fun, and for me it's just enjoying the widescreen experience more than anything else. I do play all types of games like shooter games, racing games, role-playing games, and all that good stuff. So kind of to just sum these few things up, when you're doing photo editing, you can really get into details with your photos, you can really see the contrast and the colors pop, and you'll definitely appreciate the large ultra-wide display and the screen real estate that you get. Same thing goes with video editing. You can really pop your timeline up on this ultra-wide display, and you can be a lot more productive. But if your focus isn't for photography or video editing and you just want to be able to multitask, this monitor is still great. It allows you to have several windows open if you like to do financial analysis or play with Excel. Again, having this large screen real estate will definitely lead you to be more productive and whatnot. And when it comes to movies and videos, I'm still really happy with the monitor. I already knew before purchasing the monitor that black bars on the side keep the video that you're watching from being zoomed or cropped, so I'm not even bothered by the black bars for the most part. And so when it comes to gaming, I really care about just having the ultra-wide experience so that I feel like I'm really in the game. When it comes to the build quality of the monitor, I have no complaints. When you take a look at the back of the monitor, you'll see all your inputs that are available. When you look at the left line, you'll see your display port as well as your two HDMI inputs. When you look at the right side, you'll see two USB 3.0 inputs all the way on the top right. Below that, you'll see a USB fast charge input. You also have your 3.5mm jack input so you can connect headphones or something like that into the monitor. And then you'll also have the power input all the way in the bottom. I also like how you can slide the monitor up and down and also tilt it. It's awesome, and it actually is really convenient in different viewing instances. My only complaint is that I wish the monitor could slide up a little bit more. Perhaps another 6 more inches up would actually be really convenient for me personally. And then another thing some people might actually appreciate with this monitor is that you can actually mount the monitor. It doesn't really matter for me because it just sits on my desk, but being able to mount the monitor might be a good benefit for some people. Now, when it comes to price, I know that this monitor falls anywhere between $550 to $600, and that's USD. And so at first, that price might seem really high and hard to stomach. And when you think of LG's direct competitors like Dell or Samsung, they both make similar types of monitors to this LG monitor, but those are a lot more expensive, at least a couple $100s more at the minimum. However, if you are a little bold and ambitious, there are a few off brands that I found on Amazon that are around the same price point for this monitor. So back in 2018, when I was shopping for my 4K monitor before I chose the LG one, I was also considering the Samsung and Dell, but the biggest selling point for me for the LG monitor was the price point. When you think of what you're getting for the $500 or $600 that you're spending, you're getting the 4K quality, you're getting a 34-inch display, and when you compared it back then to your Dell and Samsung counterparts, again, this was a bargain. So from all that being said, I'm sure you can take away that this monitor for me definitely lives up to the hype. So that basically sums up this video. I hope you enjoyed it. Please go ahead and hit the like button on this video. That would really be appreciated. And please also subscribe so you can stay up to date on my latest videos. And if you would like to purchase this monitor for yourself, please go ahead and use the link down in the description box below. Using that link to purchase the monitor will actually give me a small commission with no extra cost to you. That basically helps keep the channel going and so that I can create more content for you guys. Thank you for watching. This has been Everything is Tech, and I'll see you in the next video.